episode of Historical Stuff, Historical Saturdays, as I call this segment in the channel, Historical Saturdays. And in today we are talking about the monarchy. The monarchy, what does the monarch do? I think the main function of monarchs are suppressing. It was like in many centuries it was suppressing people. However, we shouldn't overlook the positive effect that monarchy gave. For example, in England, when during scientific revolution there were different breakthroughs and applicable breakthroughs. And there were, in 19th century England, there were this movement of people who was doing labor, and then the machines, when the machines replaced some functions of the people, there was this movement in which people demanded remove those machines and gave full days to people. And that was kind of very important step in this, and it also was not inspired, but somehow it was based on this monarchy thing, because England was a monarchy back there. And yes, it was that kind of stuff. And I think that mostly, if we asking ourselves a question whether monarchy is bad or good, there can't be straightforward answer. So it's important step in development of societies. So in this way it is important, it is good, and in a bad way that it is worse than present day democratic regimes. So that's yes and no type of answer. And as we know about 19th century, it was really the century of when the USA came into power, the most, because we know that in the Western Europe, and in USA, there was all those factories were developing. It was free commercial stuff was going on, and when the people could become something entrepreneur. And in 19th century it was the most first the leadership. USA gained the leadership in 19th century, and it is not it is quite understandable, since even Peter the Great few centuries ago, before 19th century, he was also studying at Netherlands, because there was really good all that technology kind of stuff. A lot Japan was introducing that technology to themselves from the West. But here, what I was talking about, USA in 19th century. So we can't overlook the Henry Ford, who was building all those crazy stuff, those machines that wasn't really new things to the people in that time. And it all filled the economy of USA with a lot of cash. And that was really a positive thing for the economy, for the country in general. And that was quite it. And in England, as I said, England in 19th century also was really powerful empire, the most powerful. We know the sayings that the sun never set on above the British Empire. So that means the British Empire had colonies all over the globe, and there somewhere in the empire constantly was sunshine. And that's those main heroes, that's main heroes of history of 19th century. And that is why today we are the English language is so widely spread, and we are many of us speak it fluently. It all started back there, I think, in 19th century, and even before that, Like, but 19th century was a very important step to that stage of things. Yes.